Alright, I want to talk about some real tips on how to actually get out of a depressive loop. And I wanted to start with the fact that depression can be really good at convincing you that you've always felt terrible and you always will. That you feel like nothing's going to change and you're really going to be like this forever. And there's been times where I've definitely felt like that for months. On my worst days, I'd wake up and really just lay there, not sleeping, not really doing anything, just trying to avoid thinking about everything I need to do for the day. And the only thing I really wanted was just 10 more minutes in bed. And when I finally dragged myself up, I'd really just go straight on my phone while eating breakfast. Not because I really wanted to do that, just really so I didn't have to sit with my own thoughts for 5 minutes. And the rest of the day was just kind of the same pattern of doing the bare minimum, then take a break to scroll, do a little bit more, get back on social media again. Kind of just enough noise and distraction that I never had to actually process anything. And somewhere in that cycle, I really convinced myself that I was just always going to hate my life, no matter what I did, and that I was really just a lost cause. I knew that my sleep was bad, I knew that I had bad screen time, and I knew my mindset was overall terrible. But knowing it and doing something about it felt like two completely different universes. And trying to fix yourself when you already feel like that is really overwhelming to even just think about. Every day really just felt exactly the same, and I couldn't really see a way out. But overall, what actually helped wasn't just one thing. There really wasn't no single moment or one little habit that fixed everything. It was really just a few things that worked together really well. And the first one is mindset. And I know really how that sounds is kind of the most generic thing that anyone could say, but I really think that this is the most important. I used to be super pessimistic about pretty much everything. There was pretty much always a negative voice in my head for about every situation. And what that does pretty much is make you not really want to do anything. Like, why try something new if you've already convinced yourself that there's no point? Like, why go out if you know you're already not going to enjoy it? So I think slowly trying to shift that default voice has really made a massive difference. Not like a stupid positivity thing, or not like trying to force yourself to pretend that everything's great, but really just kind of giving things a chance before you've already decided that they're pointless. I know it really sounds small, but it kind of just opens doors for new opportunities that I would have never even imagined doing if I kept with this pessimistic mindset. And the second thing is dopamine, but the right kind. There's a lot of talk about dopamine detoxes online, and honestly, I really hate that, and I think it's missing the point. Since dopamine is a natural chemical that your brain produces, it's not the enemy. The real problem is that we've made it really easy to get it from doing absolutely nothing. I'm talking about scrolling, video games, whatever. They're super dopaminergic, but they also require zero effort. And here's the thing, dopamine is a chemical that's supposed to reward effort. That's what it's really designed to do. When you work for something and then you actually get that release, that's when it feels good. When you get it for free over and over and over again, your brain really starts to lose that wiring, that effort feels good, and doing that for a really long time can just make any sort of effort feel useless. And that's kind of mainly why I love exercise and just creating things just for the point of creating them. Working out, making something such as art, music, a video, really anything, those activities trigger the same release, but they require you to actually put something in first. And over time, that rewires how your brain connects effort to reward, the thing that actually starts to feel worth doing. So I recommend limiting things that feel good that don't require much mental or physical effort. So third is finding your own purpose, not someone else's. I think this one's really easy to get wrong because we're so surrounded by people living their lives online, and it's really easy to look at someone you admire and think, man, I really want that. But I think following someone else's blueprint for a life that they want is not the same as figuring out what you actually want. I've talked about this in other videos, but the only way I've found to actually get to that is to get quiet. Sit with your own thoughts and really give yourself space to figure out what you value and what you want, not what looks good, not what someone else you follow seems to have. That has to actually come from within. And if you really never give yourself that silence, and if you're always like plugged in and distracted, I don't think you're really ever going to hear that answer from your own brain. And the last final thing I wanted to bring up was medication. And I do want to be straightforward about this because people do have a strong opinion about it. I know some people swear by antidepressants, and some people think that they're overprescribed and overused. And I think both things can be true at the same time. Like for me personally, medication has been a real part of what helped me get here. It made it easier for me to get out of bed. It made it easier for me to actually follow through on other stuff I talked about. It's really not a wonder drug, but pairing it alongside with good habits can just overall make a huge difference to your mental health. And I think that's what's important to say, honestly, instead of just pretending how I got here purely through the habit of like mindset shifts. However, I think medication is more useful in some situations than others. For me, the issue was something internal. I felt off for a really long time, and not really for a clear external reason. And I think that's a different situation than someone going through a genuinely hard season of life, a loss, or a breakup, or just a series of painful events. In those cases, in my own opinion, I think the problem is more about what's happening outside of you. And I think working through that can look different. Of course, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. But if you have been feeling like this for a long time and really nothing seems to change it, it is worth having a conversation to someone who's like qualified to help. I mean, there really is no like reward for doing it the hard way. So overall, if you're in that kind of loop of depression, I really want you to know that it doesn't last forever, even when it really feels like it does. I mean, I would say it starts with the mindset. Give things a chance before you've already written them off. Find activities that actually require you to do something instead of just like numbing out, like getting high, playing video games. And really just make space to figure out what you actually want from your life. But yeah, those are just the things that have really helped me. And because it's just had a crazy impact on my life, I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, see ya.